about the culture in vascular surgery, and I'm sure in surgery as a whole. So, if you could wave a magic wand and create a sort of healthy, supportive work environment that fosters good well-being for those in it, what would that look like? And I know that to a certain extent you feel that you are working in that kind of environment at the moment.
Yeah, I think that diversity is important. I think you need a variety of different types of opinion, rather than just have groupthink and just have everyone being the same sort of demographic as maybe I am.
Yeah,
White.
to have the same kind of training and the same background, and
Exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll get lots of people thinking just like yourself, and then you won't have any different opinions coming into your multidisciplinary team meetings, for example. So I think diversity in terms of gender and country of origin is really helpful. I think other things, if each person has got their own special area of interest, whether it's teaching or a particular type of surgery or maybe management, then they all feel that they've got their own bit of the department that they are personally responsible for, and they're not necessarily being overlooked by one particular person. I think that's really important.
Yeah. So you were saying about nurse specialists as a sort of example for that. So people have their own kind of area that they're responsible for.
Yes.
Rather than, one person at the top kind
Correct.
of dictating. Is that
Yeah.
makes the difference,
And
really?
nominally, you have to have a leader, but that leader has to have the ability to delegate different parts of the department to different members of the team. That would be my opinion on that one, really.
And then trust them to get on with it and just be keeping an overview, I suppose.
Correct. Yeah, I think so.
And have you been in teams where there's been a more sort of a controlling kind of dynamic that then doesn't work so well?
Yeah, certainly back in the days, going back 20, 30 years, I think most hospital departments were run like that, very much like that, particularly in the surgical specialty. So yes, I think that was commonplace, wasn't it, back then?
I guess so. And things have definitely improved, but there may be people listening to this thinking, oh yeah, I'm still kind of living that to some extent. So yes.
Another point I wanted to make is the ability to ask for second and third opinions from your colleagues. It's our patients are complicated; they're really complicated, and it really helps to have colleagues who are prepared to ask for second and third opinions. You're not going to know all the answers to every single patient, so show a bit of humility, get some other people involved, and before you know it, you'll get a much better decision. And it won't be that you're free from mistakes, but hopefully when you do make a mistake, you'll have an open and honest discussion about it, and that you'll learn in a way that will hopefully stop that particular mistake happening again.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, isn't it? That sort of openness and willingness to know that you don't know everything, because like you say, nobody does. But I think there has been a culture of, I really ought to look as if I know everything, and the problems that stack up behind that. In places where that isn't really happening, are there things that you think could be done to kind of move towards more towards that model that you're experiencing, or what's been done to create it?
That's a tricky one, really. That's a tricky one because people are in post for a long time, and it requires those people who've been in post a long time to recognise that there's a problem within their own department. And sometimes it's not in their personal interest to step aside and to give other people a role in particular aspects of the department. Tricky.
Yeah, but it could still be, it may not appear to be in people's personal interest, but given what you were saying about getting a second or a third opinion or collaborating with people, sometimes I think even something that doesn't look like it's in your personal interests can turn out to be.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like you were saying when you were talking about feeling you were burning out, that when you're low, it's like everything looks difficult and annoying and like there's no way forward. So, everything can look like, well, if I get these people more involved, then, that's going to take away from me.
Yeah.
But actually, it might turn things around like it did for you, that your realization.
Yes.
And if you're working in a more collaborative team and you've been the person at the top who's
Yeah.
in control, actually, you might find there's something better about not working in that kind of way
Yeah.
that you couldn't possibly see, because if you've always worked that way, you wouldn't know that.
Yeah. 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 Well said, Lizzie. I agree with all of that.
Things, this is what I really see as a coach, is that things can change in ways that we can't possibly imagine. And we tend to see it in a certain way and go, well, if this, then that. And that's not necessarily true. And suddenly there's like, well, no, what about this? And then something completely different might show up. So